more second there. Okay. This morning, I was thinking a lot about change and how change can be very difficult. It can be very wonderful. It can be very difficult. And, I'm thinking about all the ways that change disrupts our lives. And, some people do better when the dirt is all thrown out and the soil's erupted. And other people do much better when things are smooth and steady. But regardless, when change comes, there's this amazing capacity to really look and see what's here. So, if you're cleaning out a drawer and you suddenly find something that belonged to somebody that you haven't seen in 10 years and you're ready to give that back and give that away. Or if you find things that are no longer serving you, you can give them away as well. And, it's just an opportunity when there's big change in the world. I mean, really, it's kind of crazy when we sit back and think about all that is shifting in the world right now, that it's a wonderful opportunity for us to really evaluate what is it that we want to hold and sacred and hold on to, and what is it that we're learning to let go of. And I think a lot of you, I think maybe all of you are J members, so missing the J for sure. But if you have ever walked down the hallway toward the theater from the gym, and there's all those quotes on the wall, and there's some really beautiful ones. And the one by Rumi always strikes me when I walk by there. And I wrote it down just so I wouldn't mess it up. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. And today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. And I think this really speaks to what's happening in the world and personally, for all of us, is that really we have no control other than what we personally can impact in our own thinking, really, and therefore spreading out into our own actions. So if we're trying to become wise, we really have to look deeply at how to change ourselves, how to let go of things that are no longer serving, how to hold on to what is, how to shift our consciousness around our interactions with other people. And it's a beautiful time to evaluate that for yourself. So if you are one that struggles with change, and those 2020 is like the year of change, right? We've had just so much. What can you do in your practice to help fortify you, to give you the capacity to really be resilient through change instead of afraid of change? How can you kind of be the eye in the storm as swirls roll around you? Change is always eruptive and filled with uncertainty, and our practice therefore is a gift to teach us how to be steady so that we can really be the wise ones and change ourselves instead of always seeking the change to be outside of ourselves. So go ahead and sit up straight and tall and take a moment to think about, maybe it's everything that's happening in the outer world, all the unrest. It's amazing how the entire world is kind of jumping on the bandwagon of really putting our words and actions to follow the heart of justice and equality. So let's just take a moment to feel the massive change that's happening globally right now. So maybe start big, start broad, take that bird's eye view. Feel yourself as a piece of this sweeping change. And then drop down a little bit lower, maybe not lower, but more deeply into yourself. And think about ways that you are becoming more wise by changing yourself. Instead of feeling like you have to have impact outward, your greatest impact is inward. So think about something that you've uprooted or are sifting through to figure out what weeds to pull and what to cultivate. And let that percolate into the body. How does unrest and change land in your body? Is it a soothing sensation, like finally I get some fresh air in here? Or is it a difficult sensation, like I'm about to be swept away? Or a little bit of both? So just know Drop in and sense what you're feeling in your body. See what it feels like to lengthen your spine. Have a sense of buoyancy, like your vertebrae are little wooden boats bobbling on the water, so that your discs are refreshed and spacious. Lots of room. Melt your eyes. Melt your jaw. Try to find that blank slate across your face where everything becomes a little gentler, a little more easy, a little more receptive. Even the simple act of erasing the lines of expression in your face gives you opportunity to be curious about what is possible. So breathe into that possibility, see the openness, feel the openness. Allow your shoulders to drop down and relax. How's your breath? Can you notice where it's moving freely? And just like we've learned in the Yoga Sutra, this sense of balancing a steadiness, a sthira, this sthira, steadiness, and sukha, sweetness. This balance is really what we need in times of change, where we can be steadfast and open-minded. We can ground ourselves, feel sure and stable, grounded, but also be open to the waters that are rushing past. So how does that feel in your body? How does it land in your body to sense those forces? How can your breath facilitate the balance between the two and the sense of just bringing them in harmony with each other? That you can be both steady and free. That you can have the known of I'm here right now and the unknown of what the future brings. So you can feel a steadiness of your moral center for what is right in the world, and also have no knowing how all this will turn out. So instead of letting those forces kind of be in opposition, let's bring them in harmony. Bring your hands together to your heart and bow in. Offer an intention. Seek something in your practice. How can you practice, cultivate these things within you so that you're steady? Let's relax the hands and come onto our back. So lie down. Get comfortable. All right, and then stretch your arms over your head, lengthen through your sides. Reach the right side a little longer, reach the left side a little longer, just opening yourself up, feeling the rims of your body, these little windows that look outward. And then cactus your arms on the floor. Let your forearms touch the ground, your backs of your hands touch the ground if you can. And just take a moment to take a deep breath here, to feel yourself rest on the floor and be open. Let's go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and rock around a little bit. So swaying from side to side, maybe circling your knees. Maybe go the other direction. And let all these warm-ups that we do so consistently give you a sense of steadiness and a sense of coming home. All right, so pull your knees apart from each other and then swing them back in. Just kind of lubricate your hip joints, let the range of motion, that ball and socket, see if you can feel it swirl around in the hip joints a little bit. Notice if you have more or less opening one side or the other. All right, and then let's take a big starfish opening, stretch your arms and legs wide on the floor. Open yourself up, take a deep breath, squeeze any muscles you have access to. Just give yourself some zing in the body, a little wake up. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and relax a little bit. Sway again. As you take a deep breath, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, tuck your chin up and squeeze everything you have here, even your face and your feet and everything in between. All right, and then starfish open again, a little more gentle. Feel that sense of spaciousness, length. Exhale, knees in, chest up, head up. And relax your head down. Right knee into the chest, left leg long on the floor. Feel a sense of compression in the hip joint. Roll your ankles around and wake your feet up. Especially if you've had shoes on a lot today already. See what it feels like to just get your feet open. Wake them up. Wiggle your toes around. Let's switch sides. Left knee into the chest. Right leg long on the floor. Wiggle out your ankles, sense that feeling in your calves and shins. All right, and then right knee into the chest. Lift both legs straight up in the air. You can hold behind your legs if you want, or you can grab a strap. And we're just going to point our toes a little bit. So point your toes up toward the sky, then flex them down toward the earth. And just go back and forth, letting the back line of the body find a little bit of space. Do some rolls with your ankles. Bring your knees back into your chest. Okay, put your feet down onto the ground, wide on the floor, and begin to rock your knees left and right. So take your time to really notice the subtlety of waking up your body, of being in your body, how nice it feels to be inside of your body. If change makes you kind of swirl up in your head a lot and you become disembodied, your practice is a great opportunity to get out of your head and into the mind body instead of just swirling thought patterns. All right, let's go ahead and roll all the way over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, let's start finding some cat-cows, arching the back, rounding the spine, taking your time, noticing what moves well, what maybe needs a little extra care. Can you have deep respect for the movement of your body and where it likes to go and where it maybe doesn't like to go and needs some guidance, some support along the way? And then feel free to move the pose around any way you want. You can roll through your shoulders, you can move through your hips, you can do some circles, you can sway from side to side, move your neck around, anything that feels good. Try not to just don't think about it so much. Just let your body move. Be uninhibited. Find your breath. And then stretch back to child's pose. Walk your hands out in front of you. Lengthen them. Put them where they are comfortable. And feel free to rock from side to side a little bit. Relax the base of your skull. Soften your jaw, your eyes. And then let's find our way back up. Curl your toes under and come back towards child's pose again with your feet turned under. So the bottom of your feet need to open a little bit. And if you have trouble with joints in your toes, you just go where you go. Just find as much openness as you can. When you're ready, curl them, keep them curled and stretch up to dog pose. Lengthen through your spine, spread out through your hands and your feet, and let's move our feet around. So feel free to pick your whole foot up and put it back down like kneading like a cat. Feel free to bend your knee and lift the opposite hip. You can sway from side to side. Anything that feels good in your body. You get to find what feels nice. Okay? Extend through the spine, melt through your jaw. Find that sense of ease across your face, the blank slate. Anything is possible. Allow the skin to fall away from your bones on your face a little bit. This also can ease up a lot of your expressive lines. Melt your jowls. Feel the cheekbones soften, the eyes get heavy. Deep breaths in and away. All right, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring our knees back down onto the ground and find a cat-cow. And then let's come into our warm-up twist. Right arm lifting to the sky. Exhale and slide that shoulder down.
Finding your way here. Open up the back of the body, relax your head, make your head in a very comfortable position so you can look down at the floor or just change your head position at all, whatever way feels good. Take a deep breath into the back ribs. And then inhale, lift that arm all the way back up to the sky. Place the hand down onto the ground, change sides. Arm lifting, bring that arm through, drop your shoulder, soften up your head, make sure your neck is in a happy place. Notice if your hips shift off to the side, keep your femur bones drawing back, give some space through the spine again. Breathe into the back body. And then inhale, lift that arm all the way back up to the sky, place the hand down onto the ground, and find your way back to child's pose. Take your hips back toward the heels. Let's open the side rims of our body. Walk the hands over to the right. Open the left ribs. Feel a sense of weight come down into the pelvis. Relax the base of the skull. Melt the eyes again. So all this forward folding, let the tension leak out of your face. Just let it drop. Feel as if your brain, the frontal cortex of your brain, can rest in your forehead bones. So you just let the brain rest in the hammock of your skull bones. Let it rest. Your brain has so much going on. See if you can just let it soften and surrender a bit. Walk the hands over to the other side. Inch your way. Feel a sense of drop through the pelvis. Relax the base of the skull. Once again, melting the brain. Deep breath into the rim of the body. And then come back to center. Dog pose again. Lengthen through your spine. Lift and widen your sit bones. Feel the femur bones draw back. Open the bottom of the feet and the bottom of the hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Fold a little bit. Relax your head. Feel free to move around any way you want to move around. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt toward the floor. Rise up, push off your feet, lifting your arms to the sky. Exhale and trace down through the center line of the body. So notice, just notice, this little bit of yoga that we've done so far, has it already cued you to be in your body? Are you a little bit more grounded? Are you a little bit more present? Is your breath feeling full and free? Can you take some time, release your arms down to access the yielding of your body, allowing your knees to soften just a little bit, the breath to go down low in the body, a sense of connecting to the earth. Drink up from the earth, like literally drink up through your feet, like you're drinking through straws. Gather the energy from the earth. Feel a sense of steadiness. Then as you're ready, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, find your breath, and then exhale and bend your knees and come folding in half again. Spine is long. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Take your left foot back, your right foot stays forward. Blocks are nice if you have them. Come into a lunge. And you get to open the front line of the body a little bit. So feel the hip flexors on that back leg open. And then feel the hamstrings on your front leg open as you just go back and forth, moving through your legs. Follow your breath. It's your best guide. It's always your best guide. The more we train ourselves to slow the breath down, to observe, be in the breath, in these calm moments on our practice, then when we really have to act on the change that we're cultivating, we have resource. We don't slip into old patterns of reactionary selves. We have resource when we reach into our breath. So come into a lunge, rise up, feel a sense of connection, reach the arms to the sky, open the front of the body. Feel free to widen your arms out, cactus the arms, interlace your hands behind your back, anything that feels freeing, opening to the front of the body. Take a deep breath here. Notice a little bit of shifting in the breath when your arms are in a different position. And exhale and release the hands down. Back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift the sit bones, widen them out. Exhale and melt back down. See what it feels like to drink up through your arches here. So drink from the earth, go all the way up into the hips. See if you can allow some energy to lift into your body. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Another foot back. So now our left foot is forward, our right foot is back. Come to a lunge here. Shoulders are away from the ears. Find the extension in that back leg. Open things up. Keep watching the breath, training yourself to breathe well, squaring the hips as you move. Let's start to move. So bending the front knee, straightening the front knee. Keep breathing. You don't have to match any specific movement to breath. Just have a sense that there's flow. What feels good? Find the embodiment that feels good. And the next time you come to a lunge, extend, come on up, find your breath, reach the arms to the sky, out, hands down, wherever you want the arms to be. See what feels really good in your body, open things up, feel the chest get broader, more free, stay in your lunge, hug to the midline, start to wake up some energy, some effort in the body. And then exhale and release the hands down to the floor, back to a plank. So now rev up the engine a little bit as you start to get stronger, feeling strength kind of pump in your body a little bit, getting blood moving. See if you can still stay steady in the breath, even as you find a sense of deep, deep work. So there's stability in the body. Feel that stability. Find the midline. Feel that sense of resource of coming into your center. Find the breath helping you travel through that center. So you're not just in lockdown mode. There's energy moving while you're steady. All right, and then if you need to, put your knees down. Slowly lower yourself to the floor. Take a deep breath. Open your chest up, cobra pose. Exhale, melt back down. Enjoy. Shoulders back, broaden across your collarbones. Exhale and release. Let's do this one more time. Make sure this is a really happy feeling in your body. Stretch your legs, open the chest, exhale, and melt back down. Come up onto all fours. Have some time to move your back around, release the back bend. So cat-cows or some swirls, and then find your way back to child's pose. Deep breath in, deep breath away. Come on up. Dog pose again. Every time you come back home here, notice what's different. What has changed in your body already just by moving? What has changed in your mind? All right, let's walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Inhale and rise all the way up. Arms coming to the sky. Exhale and release your hands down onto the ground. Stand on your right foot. Bring your left foot out for tree pose. All right, so open the chest. So we don't usually start with a balance pose like this. So just notice what it feels like to not have done some wider standing poses yet. Can you feel a sense that maybe your stability is not as good as if you had done a couple of more standing poses before? Or maybe because your energy's fresh, you have good balance. Detach yourself from your balance. Try not to hold on. Don't cling, bring your arms out, bring your arms up, find your breath. Where is the truth of what is helping you right now? So do you want to have your arms somewhere different? What's going to help you feel stable? Don't attach to your stability, but seek it. Is your breath moving? Allow that hip to deeply rotate. So let the femur bone appear in that hip, deeply rotate in the socket. Maybe even turn your heel forward and your toes back toward the wall behind you. Notice if your hip is sticking out, see if you can keep that standing leg hip in. All right, and then we're gonna unwind, bring your knee back to center and come down. Jump a couple times, just let that go. Okay, maybe you're not a jumper and you just are a bouncer or a wiggler. Okay, so whatever feels good. Drop into your other foot, lift your leg wherever it goes. So remember, it doesn't have to be this high, it can be anywhere you want. Try not to lean into the hip, draw the femur bone in, find a sense of length.
Bubble your vertebrae, one on top of the other, like they're on top of water. Feel a sense of space through your spine. Put your arms wherever you want them to be. So maybe lower helps you feel more grounded. Maybe higher makes you feel more spacious. So find what you want and work with the deep rotation in the hip joints. Can you feel the heel, this heel? See if you can move it forward on your leg and move your toes toward the wall behind you. Just even help, that little bit of help with the external rotation in your hip joint. Make sure your knee you're standing on is stable and soft. Deep breaths, detach from your balance. If you're wobbly, go with it. Just keep coming back. All right, and then when you're ready, let's go ahead and release that leg up a couple times if you want to jump or sway or just wiggle. Okay, just let go of the pose. Okay, let it be free in your body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melts back down. Step your left foot back, right foot's coming forward. Find your lunge. Take your hands on the inside edge of your foot. Feel the openness in your hip here. Take some time to allow that knee to fall out to the side and back in. Just kind of going back and forth. Notice the back leg. See if you can pay attention to keeping it stable and not letting it drop. Put your foot down on the ground again. Press into the big toe mound. Lift your back thigh. Widen the sit bones. Heart extends forward. All right, and then we're going to bring your back foot in. Come into a squat. So you can take your feet wider on the mat if you want. Elbows inside your knees. Open the chest. Ground yourself. Spread out the bones of your feet. Feel the roots. Feel the yielding. Even though there's work, can you find yielding? Take your arms out to the side. Look down at the floor. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Draw the femur bones back into the pelvis. Find the length of the spine here. And then bring your elbows back in. Inhale, stand up. Reach the arms out to the sky. Open your chest. Heel toe your feet back in line. Fold in half. Step your other foot back. So now our left foot is forward and our right foot is back. You can always put your back knee on the ground if you need a little support. We're going to go ahead and open this knee out and bring it back in. Just getting into the hips a little bit. Chest is forward, collarbones are broad. Stay rooted now through the big toe. Hug that knee in. Shoulder blades are down the back, collarbones smiling apart from each other. Steadfast, also fluid. Step your front foot back, come to a plank. Full breaths here, in and out. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower yourself down to the ground. Your knees can come down first if you want. Any back bend you want, up dog, locust pose, cobra pose, Superman pose. Find the back body, engage. And then rest, come down. Pick up your feet. Windshield wiper, you can turn your head or put your head on your hands. Windshield wiper your knees, let your back soften. And then release the feet down. Come back up onto all fours. Lift and widen the sit bones. Take your knees, middle distance apart, not super wide or close. Lift the sit bones, take the femur bones way back and come into a very deep flexion child's pose. Let the hips find their squeeze. And there's a little squeeze in the joint here. Just wring the hip joints out a bit. Deep breaths in and away. And then find our way back to dog pose. Now you get to free up those femur bones a little bit. So take them back in the joints, femur bones back. Sit bones wide, extend. Inhale, lift the right leg up in the air and stack. Open the right hip, breathe deeply into it. Find the fullness of your breath. And then square the hips, swing that foot forward, come into a lunge on this side. Come on up. And then take your body to Virabhadrasana 2. So let's enjoy this. Okay, so find the movement of your hips here. See if you can allow this hip to have a little softness. Try not to push back so far that you lock anything out. So the knee is soft, roll the hip in a little bit, and then take the femur bone back. Have some softness in the joint instead of a tight rubber band. Feel the knee, this knee, over top of the ankle or before it. Try not to go past it. Find your breath. Spin your foot now. Find the draw leg of your foot so the heel turns. The right heel goes left. The right toes go right. Drop the shoulders down. Find your breath. Such a stable pose. Feel how broad you are. Feel how you take up so much room on the earth in this pose. So enjoy all of your width. Find stability in that and breathe your way into the softness. Slide the hand down your leg. Find the side rim, open that side up. Extend through your heart. And then come up to stand. Turn your feet to the long edge. Go ahead and come to a wide squat here. So the knees are going broad. Relax your torso down. Hold on to the inner knees. Bring them away from each other a little bit. Stretch the inner thighs. Drop the sit bones. And then come right back up. We're turning back to the same leg. Parsvakonasana. Elbow on your knee or hand on block. Keep your hand down for a moment. And first, just find the line through your spine. Crown to tail to heel. Feel the space between your vertebrae. Then when you're ready, lift that arm up and try not to lose what you just found in your vertebrae. So sometimes when we bring our arm up overhead, we can kind of mess with our spine a little bit. So extend and lengthen. Think more about the crown heel line than the hand heel line for a moment. Breathe. Feel the stability of your hips. Enjoy the broad stance. Find that you're deeply rooted into the earth. All right, and then go ahead and come on up and out. Let's turn our feet to the long edge again, but this time a little softer pose. Thigh bones back, lengthen through your spine, bring your torso toward the floor. Now you might have your hands wide like dog pose. Your hands can be right underneath you. Maybe your head touches the floor, maybe your hands don't reach a block, anywhere in between. Deep belly breaths. And then swing back to the front of your mat, dog pose again. Inner spiral. Maybe turn your toes in a little bit so you find the thigh bones rolling back. Extend through your heart. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Shoulders are over your ears. Find the breath. Deep inhale, long, steady exhale. What would happen if you just had to stay here for a while? How would you find your sense of freedom, softness, fluidity, breath, balanced with stability instead of kind of starting to sag or lean or lock out a joint? How do you find that integration? And let's go ahead and put your knees down onto the ground if you need to. Lower your body down. Once again, your choice of a back bend. Open your heart, whatever feels really good. Exhale and melt back down. Come back up onto all fours. Lift and widen the sit bones. Yet again, a deep flexion in your hip joints. Allow this to ground your femur bones into the pelvis. Relax your forehead toward the floor. Arms go where arms want to go. Deep inhale, long exhale. All right, let's find our way back. And you can always skip dog pose. You can always just stand up. You know where we're going. Okay, let's lift the left leg up in the air. Square hips to begin, and then when you're ready, open that hip. Stack one over the other. Try not to sag completely through the right side of your body. Deep breaths. All right, and then square off the hips. Stretch that leg. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Bring your foot forward. Come up to a lunge. Take your time. Adjust anything you need adjusting. And then let's come into Virabhadrasana 2 on this side. So find your breathing. As you come into the pose, enjoy, maybe just
stand up. Turn your feet to the long edge of your mat for a moment and just feel how broad you are. So close your eyes and feel this broad base. I mean, it's broader than really a stable base could be, but just feel how sense of width that you have in your body. Take up a lot of room. Ground your legs down. And let's go ahead and turn our feet. So see if you can keep that sense of stability, that you have a planting in the earth, that you're not going anywhere. And at the same time, you're free to go anywhere you want. So breathe your way into that space. Feel both the roots and the space. Relax the shoulders. Feel what you need to feel in your hips. So, maneuver until you feel that your pelvis is in a very comfortable place where you can sustain for a while. Feel free to move your foot so the toes can go left, the heel can go right. A lot of work can happen in the outer hip muscles to help you stabilize your legs. Find your breath. Let your spine, the vertebrae kind of bobble on top of your discs like they're the fluid that they are. The discs are mostly fluid, so feel that your discs or your vertebrae are bobbling, spacious on top of the discs. Soften the shoulders down, open the chest. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and find our way into a reverse pose. Reach that arm up, extend through your side. Don't let go of your lunge, sink into it instead, root yourself, and then find your way. Take your breath, turn your feet to the long edge for a moment, toes out, come into a very wide squat again, drop the sit bones in line with the knees, hold your inner knees and push them away from each other, stretch through the inner thighs. Deep breaths. All right, and then come back up. Turn again to the left. Bring your elbow on your knee. Keep your arm at your side for a moment. Be mindful of your right knee. Try not to push it back. Feel the yielding. So yielding comes with soft joints. Yielding comes with breath. Let yourself yield into the width of your posture, into the earth. Feel the crown, tail, and back heel find each other. When you're ready, reach the arm into that line. Keep extending. Shoulders are away from the ears. Find the work of the outer hip. See if you can spin your foot a little bit to give that work into the outer hip. Try not to let your right femur bone push forward. Take it back without locking the joints. Deep inhales. Train the breath to stay. Even though it wants to quicken and maybe run away, train the breath to stay. All right, let's go ahead and come on up. Turn your feet one more time to the long edge, long and soft. So the thighs are straight, the knees are unlocked. Put your arms wherever you want your arms to be. Deep breaths in, deep breaths away. All right, let's walk our hands one more time to dog pose. Feel the ease in your thighs when you do this. Deep breaths in. Soften out. Walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana, bend in half a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Rise up, push off your feet, lifting your arms. Exhale, trace down through the center. So maybe a little fatigue in your legs. Let that drain into your feet. Find your breath. One more balance pose to kind of help us remember to breathe through difficulty. Root into your right foot. Pick up your left foot and just grab onto your foot. Just stretching your quad. So just moving. You can always hold on to something. If you're able to test your balance, it's a great, having balance postures not only help your balance, but it's really about learning how to surrender and let go through shifting sands. How do you just keep coming back to the breath, keep coming home into the sensations of the body, even if you're unsteady? There's ways to feel steady despite unsteady. The breath is the primary one. Truly, the breath is the eye of the storm. So when you get yourself caught up in emotional states that are difficult, whether they're worldly concerns or personal concerns, we have this ability. Ground down in your other foot now. Pick up your other foot and stretch your quad. We have this ability to stay steady. And sometimes, you know, your body can be shaking from unsteadiness, but there's still a core. There's still a nugget within you that's steady as can be, even when there's major stress going on. So the tailbone drops, the pubic bone lifts, the spine grows. You can do whatever you want with your arms. If you want to kick into dancer, that's fine. Let the breath take you where you need to go. And then release that leg down onto the ground. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale and release back down. Step your right foot back, or left foot back, sorry, right foot forward. You need a block for this one. Shorter stance. Parsvottanasana legs. Extend the spine. We're going to come into a twist here. So bring your body upward. Reach the arms to the sky. Take your right hand on your right hip. Left arm reaches forward. Come into revolved triangle pose. If you need some height with 2 blocks, take some height with 2 blocks. Whatever it is that you need. Notice if you do wonky things with your hips. If you push your hips out to the side, see if you can keep things compact. Inner spiral the thighs, sit bones widen. Find the discs, the space between your vertebrae. Make them large and spacious. Twist with the breath. Now the breath is guiding the pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Maybe your arm wants to come up in the air. Maybe it doesn't. Feel that zing across your IT band. Maybe a little bit of sciatic nerve sensation. Widen the sit bones. Spine grows. Stay rooted through the big toe. And then release the hand down onto the ground. Back foot comes forward. Symmetry, balance, halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Notice if you lost track of your breath there for a little while. So as we come to the other side, see if you can keep the breath in your primary focus. Inhale, lift your right arm up in the air. Take an exhale, bring your hand forward. Place your hand onto the block or blocks, whatever you need for support. Before you start twisting, extend the spine. Inner spiral your thighs. Feel the sense of compacting your legs toward the midline. Feel the spine grow before you twist. Breathe your way into the twist. Try to be patient. Wait for the breath to take you there. Keep hugging that left hip in. Spine grows. The feet are grounded. Inner spiral the thighs. Sit bones wide. Maybe your arm wants to come in the air, maybe it doesn't. Shoulder blades moving down the back. Where is lightness? Where is a sense of steadiness? Where is a sense of lightness? Is your breath the steady force, even if your body is unsteady? And then release your hands down onto the ground. Walk your back foot forward one more time for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. Find your breath. Maybe lean back a little bit if it feels good. Cactus, open your arms, just open the chest. And then exhale and round in. Bend your knees and fold. Let's come all the way to the floor. Come onto your shins for a moment. If you can sit on your heels. If you have a block and you want to sit on a block, just going to come into Virasana for a moment. And perhaps this is difficult if your knees don't flex real well. That's okay. You can find a different posture. If you want to sit with your legs straight out in front of you, you can do that instead. Lift your heart. Just give a little squeeze through your thighs. Finding the breath. Spine grows. Once again, finding the discs being spacious and free. Deep steadiness in your breathing. And we're going to be here for just a moment, so make sure your seat is comfortable. So if you're not happy in Virasana, switch to Sukhasana, cross-legged, or whatever feels good. Close your eyes. Broaden across your chest. Feel that your heart can lift without a
push. So have that sense of openness that's soft, where your ribs aren't jutting. Integrate the spine. Feel your tailbone drop. Feel the crown lift. Find a sense of stoutness of your heart that's spacious and free, vulnerable and melting. Can you have the balance of both, that you can be strong and open? Let's just breathe here for a moment. Follow your inhales, follow your exhales. Concentrate your attention, your mind's eye on the breath. Melt everything you can and stay focused on the breath. Notice if there's places that aren't receiving the breath well. Is your diaphragm able to move? Is your back body moving? Are your ribs pliable? Can you feel your throat open? Can you feel your pelvic floor open? Are you able to receive the breath through your diaphragms? Let your breath be the eye of the storm. Change swirling all around you, things falling, things rising, things growing, things contracting, things expanding, things collapsing all around you. And there's a steadiness. You are eternal in your breath. So if we're trying to be wise and change ourselves, if we're trying to be the change we wish to see in the world, it has to start with this deep inner state, cultivating that sense of steadiness despite turbulence. From here, we get to be clear in our thoughts, our words, our actions, our intentions. Slowly open your eyes back up. Take your body out of this pose, however you get out comfortably, and we're going to come onto our back. All right, so lie down. Bring your arms out to the sides for a moment. Bend your knees. Just take a breath here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And when you're ready, we're going to roll over onto our side. I want you to take a blanket, and instead of rolling it, you can roll it if you want to roll it. But instead of rolling it, try to make a fairly thin, like accordion fold. It doesn't have to be super thin, like pranayama blanket thin, but enough that you can comfortably lay over it. Okay, so you can adjust it. If you didn't get it quite right for your body, you can adjust it. So we're going to lie back with the black blanket underneath us. You can always grab a block or any other pillow. Like block is kind of high for my head, but not for everybody. I can handle my head. I can handle my throat open and my head back pretty well. But if that's not good for your neck, then you need to make a change and support yourself. Take your arms out to the sides, or any other position that feels nice. If you're comfortable cactusing your arms or interlacing your arms over your head or anything, experiment and find what's going to give you a sense of a stout, open heart that's also melting and soft. Part of being the change is learning how to stay open. If we close off, then we can so easily ignore inner sensations as well as other things around us, people, interactions. The more we open
and stay steady in our opening, the more we're able to be present, fully present. Let's just enjoy this for a moment. Teach your heart to stay open. Teach your breath to stay free. Relax what you can. Legs can be wherever you want. Baddha Konasana legs, straight legs, bent knee, feet on the floor legs, knock knee, anything that feels good. And as you're ready to come out of this, you can stay. If you're really content and you love it, then stay. No one's telling you you have to go anywhere. But if you're ready to move on, let's bring our arms in, bring your knees in, roll over onto your side, and come out of the pose. So you get to choose pigeon pose or reverse pigeon pose, whatever is working for your body. If you are in pigeon pose, support yourself in any way that you need. Guys, we're going to take support underneath your hip if you need it. And if you're in reverse pigeon pose, feel free to put your foot on a wall or on something so your upper body can relax. Find your way. So this is a big transition from a back bend to a hip stretch. So give yourself time. If you need to just pause for a moment in between, that's totally fine. If you're in pigeon pose and you have something to support your head, that's awesome. The more you're able to rest and relax in a pose like this, the better off you will be. So the forehead softening on something gives that frontal cortex of your brain a break. So feel how your brain can rest on the bones, and the bones can rest on the block or couch or even in your hands. Melt all the sympathy tension. So lots of parts of your body might be like, I got you, hip. I can hold it for you. And just let that all go. Okay, your hip, just be where you're comfortable in your hip. So you do not have to have accessory tension to support your hip. Is your breath your guiding light still? All right, let's go ahead and find our way out of the pose and come to the second side. If you want to do dog pose in between, or just switch your legs if you're in a reverse pigeon pose. So find what's working for your body, the angles that are working for your body. Respect your joints. Extend the spine. Find your way with support into the pose. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Scan your body. Notice any places that there's tension and let go. Follow your breath. The exhales are a great opportunity to let things go. All right, and then when we're ready, let's go ahead and find our way out of there. Eventually coming onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest, rock around a little bit, perhaps happy baby pose, perhaps not. Okay, so just find whatever is releasing to you. If you want to do a twist to each side, that might feel nice. So you can put your feet down, scoot your hips right, knees up, drop them left. Still, our breath is our guiding light. Inhale and lift your knees back up. Scooch the other way. If you're doing a twist, maybe you're doing something different. Maybe you're still in the back bend. And just find your way. Breathe your way. And then as we come on up to bring our knees back to neutral, you find Shavasana however is best in your body. Do you want your arms and legs wide apart? Do you want them close? Do you want support somewhere underneath your knees or under your head, or however you want to be? Would you rather have your legs up on a chair or a couch or the wall? Just finding your posture. As we come into Shavasana, this renewal we access here is so important for being able to be the calm in the storm. We need to renew. So bring yourself into the breath, melt yourself to the floor. Give yourself over, let the earth take you, hold you, support you. Concentrate one more time on how the breath feels in your body. Ease, space. Begin to deepen our breathing. Don't move yet, just be still.
Bring yourself into conscious Shavasana. Once again, keeping the mind just focused on the breath, feeling in this horizontal plane that sense of becoming the concentrated force of the breath, the eye of the storm. Start to move in any way that serves you best. Can start to wiggle toes or have a big giant stretch, opening and awakening the body again. Knees into your chest and come onto your side when you're ready. Go ahead and use your arms. Lift yourself upright as you're ready. Yesterday I was clever and I wanted to change the world. But today I am wise, so I will change myself. Rumi, he's a smart guy, that Rumi was. Okay, so let's just have a little sense of that. Bring your change that you're cultivating, your inner wisdom outward. Can you open your heart and share so purely with love from your steady place? Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here.